Welcome back to HQ Spotlight. For the second straight season, the Atlanta Vibe is playoff bound. The Pro Volleyball Federation contenders are first in the league in terms of service aces and digs. They're second in points and kill percentage, just to name a few notable stats. But it's been a journey to get here. The Vibes were maybe a little lower back in March at the halfway point of the season, looking to turn things around. They did so on April 15th when they beat Orlando to clinch a playoff spot. So Atlanta now heads into the postseason riding a 19-8 overall record, with the semifinal showdown tipping off this Friday, 10:30 Eastern from Vegas. Let's break it down with apparently the team to beat here. We've got a former MVP, reigning MVP, I should say, an outside hitter Leah Edmond joining the show. Let's start talking about this. Before we talk about the playoffs, though, Leah, I do want to talk about the journey here, because until recently, volleyball players who wanted to play professionally, very similar to soccer, the sport I played, you had to go overseas to do so. So now that you're back here playing at home and the opportunities that it has created, like the Atlanta Vibe has done for you, just talk about what that has meant to both you and to the sport.
I think it's huge. Like growing up, we didn't have anything to aspire to. It was just kind of like, okay, you went to college, and then after college, you didn't know what you did. And if you did know, you knew you had to go overseas. And so to be able to create a league, to be a part of a league that wants to give us the opportunity to play at home, I think is so amazing. I mean, I'm so thankful every single time I get to step on the court in Atlanta that I'm in Atlanta, that my teammates speak English, that the fans speak English. You take little things like that for granted playing overseas. And so it's just been so amazing to grow the game, to be able to play at home, to be able to play in the States, and have something that now younger girls can aspire to. Now they can look and be like, I want to play for the Atlanta Vibe, and I want to be just like the girls on the court. And I think that's so cool to be able to make that connection now. I'm
not trying to pick favorites, but like if I was going through the list of the team names, and honestly, like Atlanta Vibe, like how do you beat that? Like I want to play for the Atlanta Vibe at this point. We talked about the journey to this point. It seemed like at the beginning of the season, you guys were still just trying to figure it out, and here you are getting ready to play in the semifinals with a championship potentially on the line here. Just walk us through the emotions of the season to this point, and how do you prepare for the playoffs coming up later this week?
I think the blessing of how much we struggled, it helped us to get to this point. I mean, we were up and down. At one point, we weren't even in the top four for playoff contention, or even just thinking about being in Vegas. And so to be able to go through that and kind of learn who we are as a team, learn who we are as a group, to figure out what group needs to be on the court at what time and everybody's roles, I think is going to benefit us. I think the great thing about that time is you got to see a lot of people play. And so now we know that we have such a deep roster, that we have so many people on the bench that can come in and make an impact at any time. And I think that's going to be to our benefit this weekend. Of you don't know who's going to be on the court, and you don't know who's going to do what depending on the game. And I think that's so cool that we just have so many people that can turn it on. It can be a difference maker for us no matter who we're playing or what moment it might be in the season.
Yeah, we're getting a look at some of those highlights from the season. My co-host and I, Jordan Giorgio, just like following the action back and forth there as you guys get ready to play. And look, you're facing an Orlando team this Friday, a team you just beat back in April to clinch the postseason. What do you remember from that matchup to prepare you for Friday, and how do you prepare? I know you said you're going to Vegas tomorrow.
I mean, we were just locked into a degree I don't think we had been all season. Like even going into the game, all of us were like, okay, like, wait a second, we're kind of doing this thing right now. Like we figured it out. And I think knowing and keeping cognizant of it's a new time now. The record, the 4 times that we played them before, doesn't matter now. Now we're all playing just to get into a championship, and knowing that people are going to turn things on. So, hey, that person didn't dig that ball the last time you hit it, but this time they might, because now everybody's thinking about a championship instead of just trying to get into the playoffs. And so just going in there and focusing on what we can do to play our best. And I think that's a big thing in volleyball. Sometimes you get really like locked into what the other side is doing and what they're doing, and sometimes it's just like, how clean can we play, how much can we play our volleyball, because we know that when we play our volleyball, we play at a very high level, and hopefully that we have the same result that we did last time that we played them. But I mean, we went to the gym today fine-tuning some things that we need to work on, that we're like, wait a second, we got to fix that before we get to Vegas. And so we still get 2 more days to practice as well. So just being able to hone in on, okay, this is what Orlando does, this is how we're going to stop it to the best of our ability, and also making sure that we are playing as high level of volleyball as possible at this part of the season.
So a little bit of balance, right? We want to focus on Friday's matchup, but also thinking about a championship this weekend and potentially what that could look like. Leah, before we let you go, we talked about the sport growing here in the United States and really all over the world. We've seen such a boost in volleyball. What advice would you offer to volleyball players just starting out, or even maybe to your younger self as you were growing up playing this game?
To play every position in volleyball. I think we take for granted how much, like, if you play one position that you might just do those things, and that's not the case at all, especially the older that you get. Just being able to play the whole game as best to your ability, I think benefits you. You get more opportunities to be on the court because you can play different positions. And also, sports are not your entire life. It is my entire job, but it's not your life, and your identity is not in volleyball. Your identity is in whatever you want it to be, but don't make it your sport. And I think that makes it so much more enjoyable when you get to go out there and know you're just having fun, and that whatever happens, win or lose, it's not you. It's not depicted on you.
Leah Edmond joining us here as her team, the Atlanta Vibe, gets ready for the semifinals this weekend. Leah, we certainly appreciate the time, and we're wishing you good luck. I'm not going to lie here. I'm a big Vibes fan after that conversation. Taking a look here at those matchups. Leah told you they'd be the second game in that semifinals. That's Friday at 10:30 Eastern on CBS Sports Network, taking on the Orlando Valkyries. The game before that at 8 o'clock Eastern features the 4th seed Indy Ignite taking on the Omaha Supernovas, the #1 overall seed.